Hey Brahmas, in this video we're going to show you our database called Gale Literature. Starting in the library guide titled Literary Criticism, under Articles and Databases, I'm going to click on Gale Literature. And that is one of our best databases for literary research. When you open it up, this is the front page of that database. Now, keep in mind that as a peer student, you first have to provide your student ID number as your username, and your passcode is your birth date without the year. Once you log in, it makes sense to start typing the title of the text of literature that we want to explore. In this case, let's say that we are working on A Doll's House, the play by Henrik Ibsen. So I'm going to click on the suggestion right below the search bar, because in this case, it can be quite useful. Sometimes the suggestions are not very helpful, but in this case, I know it is. So we pulled up 168 articles, which should be primarily about Ibsen's play. So at this point, we could start scrolling down and reading each title to see if we find one that matches our topic or that resonates with the research question that we're trying to explore. But also, maybe you're just trying to figure out what really is the focus of your research question. And in this manner, you are brainstorming and looking at the articles that other scholars have already written about Ibsen's play. So you might pick up new concepts or keywords that you hadn't thought about before, which is great for the beginning of your research. Now, let's go back up because I want to show you this tool on the left-hand side, the right-hand side, the box that says Search Within. If you click on that, it's a little search bar where you can search for a particular keyword in the set of articles that we already pulled up. So let's say that our assignment is asking us to explore Victorian culture and Ibsen's play. So the keyword Victorian in this case becomes quite useful because we want to find articles that specifically talk about Victorian society or culture and Ibsen's play, right? So now we pulled up 40 articles out of the 160 original ones. And now we can comfortably scroll down knowing that these articles at the very least mention the keyword Victorian once. And see, we can see one, Ibsen and fatherhood. So you can keep scrolling until you find something that piques your interest. For example, the politics of money, incomplete feminism in A Doll's House. That's interesting. So I'm gonna click on the title to open up the full article. And this might be about feminism, capitalism, patriarchy. So if these are things that you are interested in, you might think that this article is going to help you in your paper and you're definitely going to cite it. So it would make sense for you to read it and annotate the areas that you might cite. So you want to keep track of this article by sending it to yourself. And I would recommend to email yourself the articles. That way you have them in your inbox of your email account. So in this database, you want to click on the paper plane looking icon, and then you can use any email address. Just remember which one you're using so that all of your sources are in one inbox. And most of our databases will send you a link to come back to this article and the MLA citation of that source. But if you need the citation immediately, you can also click on the button that says Cite. And by default, they're going to show you a citation that's not 100% correct all the time, but it's a good working citation that you should double check later when you start writing your works cited page. Now, that's pretty much it. You can always go back to your results and you can keep scrolling until you find other articles that talk about your research question. The difficult part is not finding articles, it's more looking for the ones that specifically talk about your topic or that you are going to read in order to make a connection to your thesis. Now, sometimes when you do use the tool Search Within on the right-hand side, you still might not see a lot of articles that refer to your topic or mention the concepts that you want to read about. When that happens, you can also go back to the search bar and try the keywords yourself. So for example, I'm going to type A Doll's House, Ibsen, because I want to make sure that they mention the right author of this work, and then whatever keyword you need for your topic, such as Victorian. So I'm just going to click enter. And at that point, I'm not using the suggestions that the search bar was offering below it. And when I enter my own keywords, I got 1,000 results, more than the 160 original ones that I had gotten when I did click on the suggestion of the search bar. Now, this can sometimes be useful. It just means that the algorithm of the database is showing you a different set of results. And likewise, you would have to scroll down and read the titles to see if they mention concepts that you are interested in for your research question or your thesis. And maybe at some point you'll find something like this one: Victorian Women, the Home Theater, and the Cultural Potency of A Doll's House. That title might sound very interesting, so you will open up that source and browse it, skim it, and if you find it that it could be useful for your paper, you might email it to yourself so that you can cite it later in your Works Cited page. If you need any more help, please contact a librarian on our website.